I'm starting a 4-part series on a detailed tour of all of my doll storage. This was requested a while back and I planned to do this sooner, but life just got crazy. So this year I will be documenting all of my doll storage in great detail. So the person specifically wanted to see like what was in every drawer and every container, because when I did my like big overview tour last year, almost a year ago now, I obviously, for the sake of time, I didn't open every little thing. I opened up a couple of drawers just to give you an idea of what was inside, and I also did like all my displays too, like an overview of them. So if you want to see like everything all together, even like my dolls on display, basically an overview of my entire collection, I'll link that video down below. But this one is going to be, like I said, in parts, so that way I can go into a lot of detail and it's not like a monstrosity for me to edit or you to watch. I do have very old tutorials on how I store all of my doll stuff in my tips and tutorials playlist. So I have like, I think they're from 2017 and 2018, like how I store dolls would be a video, and how I store clothes. And I pretty much use the same systems that I did back then with some minor tweaking. If you just want to know how I store something specifically and why I store it that way, then check out those videos accordingly. Obviously I have a really large doll collection, and what works for me might not work for you. It might not be practical, you might not just like it, and that's totally fine. This is just me showing you how I do things. My doll stuff is all stored in the basement, and it is like mostly finished down there, but it is still a basement, and at some point it did look like an episode of Hoarders. I'm not lying to you. It really did. So it, even with a lot of work and cleaning and rearranging, it's still not perfect, so you're gonna see that in these videos, and it's just not always aesthetic. That's real life. I tried to repurpose what I had and use what was already there, and I did buy things special for certain things as I saw it fit. But like I said, I try to reuse what I have. So a lot of times when I show my doll storage, people make a lot of suggestions about get rid of all of this and buy all new that, and like, I just don't really want to spend money on things if I don't have to, if I can make them work. That way I can spend the money for storage on the things that I do really want it to be a certain way. And it's taken years to get it to look like this. I'd say like in 2023, that was like the first time I felt like I was really using my space the best we could. So if you are struggling with doll organization, know that it doesn't all happen overnight, and especially if you need to buy things for organization, it's going to take a while. I certainly didn't buy everything that I did buy like all at once. It was in little increments, and it just takes time to shape that and make it the way you want and figure out what does and doesn't work for you. I feel like I have a pretty good system on what works for me and what protects my collection. And because of like the layout of our basement, not everything is like organized in like a sensible way, I guess you could say. Like there are 4 different areas. So there's the pink room, the blue room, the middle area, and Babyland. And just because of like what kinds of shelving you can fit in those areas, and you know, just the layout of the rooms, some things they get split up. So there are some doll clothes in one room and then some more doll clothes in the other room. That's just how I had to work with it. In an ideal world, I would love everything to be like perfectly categorized, like all the clothes here and all the dolls here, but that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbled. The first room we're starting in is the pink room, which was my sister's old bedroom back when my grandmother lived with us. And I am, like I said, going to try to show you in detail and like open the drawers and open the containers. There are going to be a few areas like when we get to those rooms where I'm not going to open every little thing just because it'll be redundant. Like when we get to my playset containers, that stuff is all like individually bagged and stacked a certain way, so you can't, it's not really interesting to open up the lid. But I'll definitely show you a good sampling, and I will explain like how I store certain things and why as we go. So if you don't want to watch like an individual tutorial, I will try to explain like my method of thinking. And I know everybody has like their own way and what works for them, and I'm not saying my way is the only way, but this is honestly just what has worked for me over the years. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy this detailed tour and stay tuned for the next 3 installments. So we are going to start in this room, which is the pink room. It used to be my sister's bedroom. And before that, it was like a playroom down here. If you can hear the washing machine, it's doing a cycle. So it is right by the back door and also by the stairs. So it kind of limits like the wall space. You can't put like a lot of shelves in here or anything, but that works out. So what's mainly in here would be our filming like set design stuff and American Girl accessories. And a few other random bits and bobs, but that's mainly what this room is. Again, because of the way it is oriented. Hi, Jane, come in. You come to help the tour? This side of the house has like these built-in shelves from the foundation. So I keep my 2 vinyl cases that I have. These are actually like sleep and keep cases where you can open them up and there's like a little bedroom inside. I don't have any more vinyl cases. I usually, when I get them at the flea market, I'll cut the artwork off and use it for crafting, because they're old and the cardboard inside gets funky smelling, and I've tried donating them in the past if they were in decent enough condition, and like none of the places I tried to donate to wanted them. So these 2 though are great for photos, and the top one there I got at the Salvation Army as a kid, and we actually played with it a lot if we wanted like a little bedroom on the go or just a bedroom that had 2 beds in it when we were playing. And then this one I got sometime as an adult collector. It's an actual Barbie one. I've had it for many years, probably close to 15. And then these little bagged figures here, these are all of my Our Generation horses that are again from childhood. So I actually just bagged them today because I've been meaning to do it for a while, because it's just annoying when they get a little bit dusty, and sometimes like spiders will be over here even though I try to, you know, vacuum it. You know, spiders are gonna spider and, you know, sometimes they'll have like a little web, and then the bugs and stuff that they catch in there will sometimes dribble things down, so it just keeps them cleaner, and that way when we want to use them for photos and whatnot, they're clean. So I have them labeled, and I actually have like the names I gave them on there. So this one's Dancer, and then that one is Missy. Those were rescued from the garbage by my dad's best friend Jimmy when we were kids. He used to be a trash man, and he'd sometimes find cool stuff and bring it to us. And then this one here is my most special American Girl sized horse. This is Rosie. I got her for my 11th birthday, which was the last birthday my mom was alive, and she was my first American Girl sized horse. And then this is Black Beauty, who my sister got for Christmas that same year, but she gave to me. And these are all the different backdrops I use for set design. So these are just cardboard boxes. Most of the time the dimensions are like 6 feet wide when they're folded out all the way, and then 2 feet tall. I use like a lot of 12 by 12 pieces of scrapbook paper. So I think I have a little over 50 now. So they're double-sided, so that means there's 100. I'm not going to go through all of them. A lot of these are made with scrapbook paper, but not all of them. I have ones from like old calendars, like this cat one you can see poking up, leftover like contact paper and coloring book pages, wrapping paper posters that come with dolls, those fronts of vinyl cases that I repurposed, sometimes old books. So there are a lot of like ones from found materials, but I also did get in the kick of buying scrapbook paper at some point. I usually got it on sale at Michael's when the scrapbook paper pads were cheap. So I'm not going to go through all of these one by one because we would be here forever, but if that's something you would want to see a video on, see all the different ones I've made, and also the flooring, I could do that, but for the sake of time, that would be like ridiculous. And I will say I do have 3 backdrops upstairs, because those are the ones that I use for regular photography. They are like my butterfly backdrop that you see on Flickr a lot, and then the heart ones that I use for play sets. And I have 2 for play sets because some of them are really tall, and when I take them I need to stack them on top of each other, but these are the majority of them. And these are not doll related, but these are 2 hamsters my friend Lisa got for us some years ago at her work. I think this one's Bon Hammy and Bon Fluffy. We call them Bon because our first hamster's name was Bonnie, so it's an ode to her. This one kind of looks more like our hamster Peanut though. And this is just my grandmother's old recliner that Oliver used to tear at. But it's nice because I used to keep these hamsters in the living room, but they were way too big. They got like just in the way, so they look cute down here, and then they're great when we're in Babyland and we're doing like a big photo project or filming down there. You can like lean up against them and they're nice like back cushion. Continuing on over here, so on this half of the shelf, this is one of my American Girl horses. This is my Palomino, who I got at the Salvation Army. And I have two more of them, not the Palomino, but I have Felicity's horse and Kaya's horse. They live in a closet in a different room in the Our Generation stable. So I put them in there because these guys have like that fabric covering them, so I really didn't want them to get dusty, and that's why they ended up going in the closet. But now they're all bagged, so it doesn't matter. And then this is a My Life As wardrobe that someone gave my sister. It was their kids at some point. And in here we just have some of our like childhood dresses, like this one my grandmother made, and then these two she bought us at a craft fair. Then this is like a clone dress Colleen used to use on Molly, and then there's two smaller sized ones that we got as adults that are good for like Welly Wishers and Magic Attic. And there's nothing in this drawer right now. Up top here we have my Brat styling head, the Live in Concert Yasmin. I got her at a thrift store, I want to say back in 2017, and her purpose is to wear all of the different like hair accessories I have that I use on my American Girls. I do have ones that I specially made for certain outfits that are bagged with certain outfits, but a lot of these are like little baby bows or cheap like girls hair accessories, and I have like some Our Generation hair extensions and clips and stuff that I get in different flea market lots. So yeah, she's kind of overloaded, but that's her purpose. I am always on the lookout for another styling head, but I preferably would like a Bratz one because they're so large. And then this lantern, this is actually a lantern, but it looks like a little doll gazebo. This is from a wedding that my sister and I went to like 8 years ago, my cousin's wedding, and we use it for doll photography. And then these two identical wardrobes were ours when we were kids. My Auntie Kim got them for us for Christmas one year, but they hadn't actually like arrived yet. So I think we ended up getting them in March. They were from this store called the Mill Stores, where it was like handmade stuff. And that's where all our American Girl clothes used to be when we were kids. This one was mine, this one was Colleen's. And we used to hang some of our like American Girl brand dresses in here. Last year when we were reshooting all of our photos for Flickr, we decided just to bag all of the real American Girl stuff and put them in each character's drawer. And then just use this for some Cabbage Patch type stuff. So these are all like the real baby clothes from the 80s that were sold on soft sculptures. I got like a little lot of them on eBay, and also I have a soft sculptured girl, Brigitte, I think this is her dress. And then I have a bunch of hangers in both drawers because when we were kids, all the American Girl outfits used to come with hangers, and in different like eBay lots we'd get hangers, and also like Courtney's separates came with these ones. So this one also has hangers. There's also some Magic Attic Club and Our Generation hangers too. And then this guy, this is more random 18-inch type clothing. These are some like princess dresses that we got used on my Josephina doll named Francesca and my Bitty Baby named Coco. They're like Disney princess ones. Most of these are, like these ones here, were from this store that sold handmade doll clothes that has closed since, but when we were kids we went there a lot. It was called the National Gallery, and you can tell that they were inspired by the Pleasant Company clothes of the time. So these were like Molly's jumpers, and then these are some ugly things that I made as a kid for Samantha and Kaya. Something I got at the fair as a kid for Samantha. There's a couple of these dresses that my grandmother made, and then there are two American Girl items in here that are random that don't have like a drawer to go into. This is for the Miss A.G. Bear. I use it on my 18-inch dolls all the time. I've had it for years. I didn't even know what it was, but someone identified it for me on Flickr. I didn't realize they made clothes for that bear. And then this is Mary Ellen's dress that came on my Truly Me doll number 57 named Raven. That was a gift. Yeah, she was wearing this, and I just don't have Mary Ellen at this time, so I don't have a drawer for her, and it didn't have shoes. I had little things on the inside of my wardrobe as a kid. There used to be more, but I used to do whiteboard art where I'd like draw stuff on my whiteboard and then spray it with water and then put pieces of paper over it for this like weird effect. I thought it was so cool at the time. And then this bin over here, we got this for free. Sweet Sunday haul from like fall 2018. One of our neighbors put out like a big Barbie house and some dolls, and this tote was filled with things, and I didn't know what to use it for years, but as you can see, these are hangers. This is like all of the clippy type hangers that we use for hanging pants and skirts and things that you can't hang on the actual hangers. This is all like the really small hangers that the hooks aren't wide enough to fit on a drying rack, so that's what these wire hangers are for. I hang them off the drying rack so the thinner hooks can go on there. This is all clothespins. And then the ones that are freestyling on the bottom, these are the first ones we use. These are the ones that fit on the drying rack. So these are all working hangers when we get big batches of doll clothes and we clean them, or we're just doing like regular doll laundry. I always air dry my stuff, and they're from all different decades. There are 60s hangers all the way up till present day, and they're all working. This is my grandmother's old sewing table. I did used to sew on it, but then I ended up getting a newer sewing machine that wasn't my grandmother's in like, I think the end of 2018. And it was something I had really wanted for a long time, so that's upstairs. I didn't really like sewing on this, so I brought it down here, and it's done a lot of different things over the years, but it's a great place for all of the flooring that I've made. So these are for set design, you know, photos and videos. This is not all the stuff we use for flooring. We have some scrapbook paper sheets upstairs too, but these are like the finished ones. And you can see they're all double-sided except like this one that has sand on it. Like this is actually fake sand. This one is plain on the back because you can't really use the other side. But yeah, that's like leftover contact paper that my parents bought when they built the house to do the pantry. I found it and I thought that that was cool, and like contact paper that my shelves in my room used to be made of. This is stuff I bought when I updated that. And then I have like a bunch of ones that I made just using paint pens. If you want to see these in more detail, I can make a video. But these are great for like wider shots. We'll put two of them side by side, so there are always two identical panels. And under this table, these are our childhood doll houses. This one was mine that my dad made. I have a whole video from about 2 years ago when I like repainted it. And then this is my sister's. That was like a family friend saved for her and gave to her. It's one of those like old ones from probably like the 70s or 80s that you would like put together. So those are our houses. Again, everything is in trash bags if I don't want it to get dusty or bugs to get in it. I mean, I clean down here all the time, but like there's just a lot of little things, so that way I don't have to worry about it. And then underneath the stairs, it's kind of a weird space, so these are two of the dressers that fit under here nicely. This was my grandmother's. It is, I think, for lingerie, someone told me. That's why there are locks on the door. She put jewelry in it. But it goes to the set that my sister has in her bedroom, but she didn't have room for this and a use for it because the drawers are a weird size. So this has held a lot of different things over the years. It is currently all American Girl accessories. This was from my childhood bedroom set, the matching pieces in the other room. It was used when I got it as a kid. And this again holds like all American Girl accessories. And this little guy my parents bought for the kitchen when they redid it, but it was too tall for where they wanted to put it, so I used to keep all my bitty baby stuff in there as a kid. And we have some like American Girl trunks and off-brand like 18-inch doll trunks. So this guy I bought specially for American Girl. You can see I labeled them. And I have different like food things, so trays, bowls, and plates. These are all desserts, and you can see that I have like an old American Girl box that clothes came in for like the ice creams. And then these are fruits and veggies that are just freestyling it. And yes, I did buy these so that there would be a lot of growing room. And then this is my childhood jewelry box that my mom got me. I think it was used. She loved mice. And this is where we keep like different, they're like fabric food related props like napkins and things. So there's like an apron and napkins and things like that that you would use when setting up photos. So we don't put them with the clothes. We keep them out here for easier access. But most fabric stuff is just stored with the clothes. Then this my sister got as a kid for Molly. She used to keep Molly's stuff in it. Now it's all like shared things. So this top tray comes out. And these are different like barrettes, clips, bobby pins, and hair ties. Not all of this is authentic American Girl brand. Some of these just won't fit on Yasmin. But most of these are like, we have clips from my childhood hairstyling set, like those bobby pins with beads. We have some from Kit's hairstyling set. A lot of these belong to like Gabriella and Isabel. And then in here, this is the curlers from Colleen's childhood hairstyling set and an extra wire wig brush. And what's nice is I can pull this tray out and bring it upstairs if I'm styling hair. This drawer is fake. This one holds like headbands and tiaras. Some of them aren't real American Girl, most of them are. And then this is where we keep all of their glasses and sunglasses. So you can see like some of Molly's glasses cases are in here with broken pairs of glasses. Then this guy I got at the Salvation Army, I want to say at the end of 2016. It's where I used to keep all of my American Girl jewelry, but most of the stuff is now bagged with the clothes, which when we get to the clothes, I'll show you what I mean. But we just had so much that like, and I made so many pairs of earrings, like hundreds of pairs of earrings for all my different American Girl outfits, that it wasn't practical. So we keep some of our studs in this earring tree. I got this for free at the flea market. This woman just gave us a bunch of free Barbie stuff in 2023, and I found this earring tree in the little box. But the rest of them sit in the ring holder. And then you can see these are some earrings I made to go with some non-American Girl outfits. And then we have the actual American Girl dangly earrings from different sets. And then right now Luciana's not wearing her name bracelet because of the outfit she's wearing. And then in here, these are just a few handmade type necklaces that we don't have. They're not made for a specific outfit or like this medal, this real American Girl. And then in here there's more, like I got this really cool Rainbow Loom band bracelet. It was stuffed in the box I got Samantha's flower picking set from. Someone must have put these in the boxes at the American Girl store, so that's really cute. And then Molly's pins. Colleen had all of like these pins from, I think, Hallmark when we were kids. And some extra shoelaces. And these are like hospital bracelets and like McKenna's wrap for her, that came with one of her accessory sets. And then this is Isabel's jewelry box for girls. I got this on sale in 2015. And I originally used to keep some American Girl, I used to keep some American Girl jewelry in here, but again, it's now empty for the time being because I bagged all of it, but it will be used later. And this was one of my grandmother's old earring boxes, which again, this used to be filled with handmade earrings, but I reorganized, so currently it's empty, but we'll find stuff for them. So these are all for 18-inch dolls. Most of our accessories are My Life As or Our Generation. I don't really like spending the money on the real American Girl ones. I can tell a difference in quality in terms of clothing and the dolls, for sure. I'm kind of a bit of a brand snob in that way, but when it comes to like the accessories, the cheaper ones are honestly a better value. The only exception is Glitter Girls clothes, which are like the Welly Wisher like imitators. Those are just as nice as real Welly Wisher clothes. So in that case, you're better off buying Glitter Girls clothes. But that's why you're not going to see a lot of like non-American Girl brand clothes during this tour, because we only kept the sentimental pieces. All of the other stuff we gave to Colleen's friend's daughter, who's really into dolls right now. So this guy up here is for bags and baskets. So you can see Like, this is a mini brands thing. This is Gabriella's. We have like Corinne and Gwen's. This is from Samantha's flower picking set. This is from our Generation laundry room, or My Life As laundry room. A cleaning tote. This Care Bear set Colleen bought for Courtney at Walmart. And then there is even like, this is one of those American Girl store exclusives that I got used with some Barbies a long time ago. It is bagged to keep it clean, but we keep it in here because it doesn't go with an outfit. And then this is school supplies. Now a lot of these are real American Girl brand. So we have like Addie's satchel that I got for a few dollars at the flea market, and it has like her slate and her book. Then we have Molly's school bag, which again has like her binders and stuff in it. This is Kirsten's, which has her slate. I got this from the same flea market seller as Addie's. Same as my American Girl bitty baby named Jelly. This was mine. This is one of the few accessory sets I had growing up. This was a Girl of Today school set. You can see like there's also regular books in here. So the books from Molly's Nighttime Necessity, some mini doll books, Emily's scrapbook. There's also laptops in here because they're school supplies. And then in here, smaller school supplies like staplers and scissors. That's My Life As art kit. Courtney's guinea pig book. And then this is all like bigger food stuff. So this is Addie's ice cream maker, or Samantha's. They made the same one for both. This was an accident. I ordered Addie's birthday dress one year for Christmas, and they accidentally sent this. And they let us keep this for free and sent us Addie's birthday dress at no extra charge. And I actually did make ice cream in this as a kid. This is Bitty Baby's picnic basket. We keep the food in it because it's kind of baby specific. Some like lunch boxes from the Our Generation line. Samantha's tin, which this tarnished when I was a kid. It's really annoying. And then just some like bigger food appliances. This is the Girl of Today cooler I got Colleen for Christmas one year. This is all more food stuff. So we have like cups and mugs. You can see like even Chip is in here from Belle. These are all like milk and juice cartons, fancy drinks, juice boxes and sodas, bottles of drinks, and then some loose stuff like Bitty Baby's bottles, Mrs. Potts. Then in here, this is pet supplies. These are all mushroom tins. These are great for organizing. So we have smaller animals. We have some animal food. These are all from my childhood, Our Generation horse sets. And also like random grooming things. Gardening stuff. Like the little first aid kit here, which is a veterinarian one, which is why it's in there. And then like bigger things, like this is Felicity's shovel from her stable. I got this at a thrift store. I was really into the Our Generation horses as a kid, so even though I got rid of a lot of that stuff before I started collecting dolls officially again as an adult, I could not part with my horse stuff. And then this bottom one here is for really big pet and gardening stuff. So these are like My Life As garden, our Welly Wishers rabbit hut. This is the My Life As chicken coop, Courtney's guinea pig cage, the My Life As guinea pig cage, and Kaya's horse saddle. And then in this top drawer here, we have, this is just some organizer that my sister's friend gave her that belonged to her brother. It's for like a desk, but these are just random things. Like these are for a beanbag toss game I have for American Girls, like Molly's ballerina, this blood pressure cuff, Elizabeth's fan, a candle holder. You know, these are all just like really random party favors that don't have a rhyme or reason, like Covey's elephant. These are like, I don't know, just general organizers. Some of them are used. I didn't buy any of these special. This is all like sewing and cleaning type stuff. All of this is pretty much off-brand, but this is Addie's from her sewing set. These are all, they're paper accessories, which I do bag them for extra protection. But yep, you can see there's a bunch of them. These are all condiments. We had way too many of them to keep in a smaller organizer. These are some pans, and these are like kind of like takeout containers. you can tell we really like the sets that have food. So this is all just large random food. You know, you got your pizza boxes. This one is Real American Girl, as you can see. This is from my Childhood Girl of Today school set, and it has like the jars of food inside it still. Then these are like the condiment topping things that came with our generation hot dog cart. And yeah, this is just like a recycled container. This is from the American Girl Premier computer game Colin had growing up. The discs we don't have anymore. They stopped working on like newer computers a billion years ago, so we got rid of them, but the tin is useful. Then these are all like random kitchen type stuff that's larger. Popcorn and crackers and chips. We have a lot of those. These are canned items. So these are like Molly's from her, one of her like Saves the Day accessory sets. Pantry food. And larger kitchen utensils. And then in this guy, these are really thin drawers. So most of my tackle boxes like this for doll accessories I keep in the other room, like all the others. But since these are the only American Girl sized ones and they fit in here perfectly. So this was actually for fishing. My dad gave me that. This is where all the smaller food is. So you can see like all the little tiny bits like candies. Some of it is like this chocolate bar isn't American Girl. It's from one of those like resin food sets we got on Amazon, but it's perfect size for them. This one's missing all of its dividers, but that's actually quite handy because there's these longer slots. Like these are from the party set, the old party set. Girl of Today one I got Colleen for Christmas one year. And like these are the brownies that go to that old Girl of Today cooler. Sandwiches, hot dog stuff, and these are like not cooking utensils, but the ones you eat from. Look at the size difference here. These are like Real American Girl brand. These are huge. This is all miscellaneous. This is from the dollar store. So yeah, you got like some cell phones, like that's Marisol's cell phone. Some money. These are like little postcards that are super tiny. Molly's bugs. These clothespins are not American Girl brand. And in this Big Daddy, this drawer is really deep. This is where I keep some of our American Girl furniture. So this is like the ironing board, that's a rolly cart, a dress form. This is Josephina's actual bed I got at the flea market. Samantha's actual brass bed I got at the flea market. It comes apart. Beneath that is Addie's sleigh bed my dad made me. These are the two sleds he made us. So they're all nice and nestled in here. And then in this guy, this is for all really large random accessories like an umbrella and Felicity's warming pan that I got used, and Samantha's Piney Point tube, and Kaya's drum, and Kaylee's boogie board, and the Twister game we got used for like $1. A sewing machine, the Welly Wisher gingerbread house. So we actually have 2 of those. Molly's lamps, Colleen has 2 of those. So moving on in here, on top of this little plastic shelving unit, there are these 2 empty, identical American Girl tins. These were, I think, originally sold at Hallmark, but we got them at the flea market as kids. That's why there's 2 of them, and we don't keep stuff in them because these lids don't lock in place, but they're really cool anyways. And then this guy holds all just really fragile, like China tea sets and stuff for the dolls. So you're gonna see mostly like newspaper and paper towels in here. But these are like Molly's potted plants. This is like really terracotta. And then her actual glass bottle for a party game. Yep, and her piggy bank. And then in here, this is all Molly's tea set. Colleen has 2 of these. So Dad got her one for Christmas one year, but it came broken. So he called up American Girl and they said they'd ship another one out for free, but he had to return the original because obviously it was a high ticket item. Well, my dad, bless him, he was not responsible. He never got around to returning it. So she has 2 complete sets. One just has a few broken pieces we glued together. So it's in there. And then this one is all like our sentimental tea sets, I think, that we had growing up. These are all in paper. So, you know, those little ones they used to sell for kids, like this was mine. I remember my second cousin Caitlin had like an identical set. I used to keep this set up in my room all the time. That's what the candles go to. I love that. Very special. And then the only thing in here, this is the only thing I have the original box for. So this is Samantha's holiday set, her Be Forever one. The outfit came with like a big tray and all kinds of stuff. And it's pretty fragile. And I also keep Josephina's ceramic bowl from her nighttime necessities in here because it's large and it fits in here. And then in this corner, so this is just a little My Life As doll case that someone gave Colleen. A lot of our My Life As stuff was just given to us. It used to belong to people's kids that they didn't want anymore. So this is where we keep our pets that aren't on display. It's pretty packed in there. I recently put Starburst back down here. Some of these are American Girl brand, some of them aren't. This is Colleen's childhood Our Generation dog named Lady. She was a gift. A lot of them are from the flea market, like Grace is from the flea market. That's Kit's chicken from her chicken keeping set. Some of them are Magic Attic. This is just like a sentimental bunny that Colleen had for Molly. We have Kaylee's dog Sandy, Melee, lots and lots of pets. Speaking of pets, Quasimodo decided to use a litter box. He used 3 litter boxes, if you're wondering. So then, these are trunks. I used to think this was a real American Girl trunk because someone gave it to me. It came from like a yard sale that my dad's best friend and his wife were gonna do, and someone gave them this, and I thought it was Samantha's because the inside of it looks like Samantha's, and as a kid I just took it for granted that it was real because this is the same pattern. This is actually a Toys R Us one. Is it called like Girls on the Go? It was from like the late 90s, I think. And I don't keep anything in here really. I used to keep Samantha's accessories in here, but it's just not practical. It made more sense to mix everything because we use it for photography. And it's missing a lot of drawers. So these are just like the trading cards that came with doll clothes back in the day. And I have a Josephina bookmark and Colleen has a Molly bookmark. We got these at Hallmark after my mom died. This woman she used to babysit for took us school clothes shopping, and that was really nice. She like paid for everything and took us into Hallmark and got us some American Girl books. These are Magic Attic keys. And then these are some of the mini doll boxes and like the mini doll stand. This is like the fancy one that came with Courtney's Molly doll. This is our only American Girl brand trunk. This is Molly's. Colleen ended up getting this for Christmas 2004 because I couldn't decide between Kit and Samantha for my doll that year, and I picked Samantha and then like regretted it and was secretly upset about it, and Colleen told my dad, so he ended up ordering me Kit additionally, which I know, spoiled, right? And then he got Colleen this trunk to like make it even, and she used to keep Molly's stuff in here, but right now it is pretty much empty. It holds like the hangers that came with it, and then like her childhood Bennett. He's made of real rabbit fur and he's been falling apart for years, so he lives in his little cocoon. And then these are from the Twist and Style Tiffany dolls and the hairbrushes that go to the Magic Attic Club. And then these are the Twist and Style Tiffany hair accessories. These are like the beads that go to the gun. And then this is Molly's Christmas box. The twine for it is inside, but all of the stuff that came in this is obviously in there. And I picked this big Our Generation trunk out for Christmas for Colleen, I think in like 2002, for all of her Molly stuff. It's actually really well made, and it's our best trunk in terms of organizing stuff. So it did come with like an open window. This is just some paper cardboard I put there. I actually have a video where I reorganized this because I used to keep like our non-American Girl clothes in here, but it's better suited for just using for accessories. So we have like Addie's hospital balloon, this tripod, these go to that beanbag toss game. These are random sporting accessories. These are random electronics. This one is all bigger like beauty products and like Biddy's powders, so you know, different toothbrushes and things. And then these are all Bitty Baby's larger toys. She's got like a ton of these blocks. I have a really good luck finding these blocks apparently. I have several sets of them. We have some present boxes. These are random, like Molly's hot water bottles. And again, she has 2 sets of these because I think they accidentally sent 2 sets and they just let us keep the duplicated set. And then this is Kirsten's like quilting, from her quilting set. I got this at the flea market. This is like Bitty Baby's pail, Samantha's music box. This is really special. This is Josephina's nighttime necessity box. It has all the little trinkets in it. Colleen got me this for my 14th birthday. She picked this out because it's really important in her story. Our cash register, Molly's snow globe, and this little money box. These are all my Bitty Baby books and the crayons that came with them. Molly's radio, and then these are all just like random books that aren't, some of them are overflow Bitty Baby, but some of them are just like random doll-sized books, like Colleen's Precious Moments Bible she had as a kid. And last but not least, we have this trunk. This was, I think, handmade. My dad got it for me at the town dump. They were gonna throw it away, and I think it's because there was a problem with the hinges. I have to fix that. My dad did try to fix it, but I think just from age. So this is where we keep like hats and head accessories, I guess, and then some random things like flowers and a wand thing, Samantha's flowers, Molly's stocking, and then down here you can see there's like Luciana's space helmet, Molly's birthday crowns. There's also the styling cape. These are from the old American Girl skincare kits. I have our childhood one and then some used pieces we got. We used to clean our American Girls with these. Their towels are in horrible shape. You can see the Little Pleasant Company logo. It's just baking soda. That is what they sold in this set. And I actually had the tin that the baking soda came in for a long time, but I finally got rid of it. And then we have the horse blankets from my Our Generations, some headphones. It's just like a really nice, deep place. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see the main tour of all my doll storage and displays from 2025, I'll link that below. I also have some pictures on my Flickr. I also have an old tour from 2023 where if you're interested in seeing how things change. And I have detailed videos on how I organize every single type of thing, like play sets, clothes, dolls, accessories, etc. In my tips and tutorials playlist if you're just looking for something like that. And as always, until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.